Hi, good evening here from Merlin Peter at Ark2, and you can find me at Google Maps. Also, you can see the blog and up-to-date photos at soteriologicgarden.com. So what I want to say is that I've just installed a wind turbine, and I just want to introduce you to this Black & Decker screwdriver and drill, which costs no more than 65 euros. It's actually quite good on a single charge and really quite powerful, going for at least an hour or two. So that's something to look out for. It's USB rechargeable. But let's go on with what I've been up to, and here you can see this is an earth, and I'll come back to that in a minute. And here is another earth here. Okay, so their rod's being pounded into the ground, hitting rock. And if you look up, you see the wind turbine I've actually installed now. There's no wind, so but I've tested it and it actually works. This is quite a decent Air 400. I think it's called Air 400 Max, and it's self-regulating in a way. It can't really destroy your batteries by overcharging. It's got a very good efficiency curve, and I picked it up for cheap. It retails at over 1,000, but I managed to get it for 150, and it actually works really well. So here we are. I've set it up, and the idea is it's just going to complement the one solar panel that I have on top of my water system here during the winter, really, because that's a trickle feed, and it's now trickle feeding 5 batteries, and as you can see, they're squeezed in between 2 containers there, which makes them very thief proof. But I've just done all the wiring. Whilst I've got the light, I can just quickly show you some of the wiring. Now, it's not great because I find it difficult to get all the connections in this country, but I've got an on-off switch there, which you need. I've also got a fuse or circuit breaker just there. This is running off the live wire. And then you can actually add a meter before you actually connect to the battery as such. And as I say, it's such a neat little machine. They're so advanced and they've progressed technology-wise so fast that for what I really want, it's absolutely perfect. Always best to wait for technologies to develop first before you go out and buy them, because they really do need a test run. So what have I been working on? Well, I've been working on the roof of my compost toilet, and as true as I am, I recycle everything. And here we are. So you probably recognise that from a building site somewhere. But what I've actually done is I've tacked on the old crown from a yurt, you can see. So that's going to be the new crown for this structure, which I'm actually standing in at the moment. Now it's quite heavy, and I am a bit worried. But once it's up there, it's all going to be woven in and probably looking really quite nice. And if I can just show you how the original yurt setup was. Around that crown, there are grooves in which the ribs are fitted in. And these are the ribs. And all these are treated with a mixture of gas oil or diesel and spent motor oil. So take a look at this. So what would normally happen in a yurt, you'd have your walls like this, you see, and then these will, the 50 or so of these roof ribs would actually all point towards the middle, holding up the crown, you see, just like that. So these now have to hold a substantial weight, but it will do. And how do I know that? Because when these roof ribs are in place, it's just like your own ribs in your body. They're incredibly strong and flexible. So they're good in this sort of situation where we get a lot of wind coming through here. But secondly, the ribs are normally covered by a canvas, and I'm not going to have a canvas on this. I'm just going to have a very light woven structure of cane. So the additional weight that would have been on the canvas is now gone over to this new crown which I've built. And working with recycled wood, it's really quite beautiful. I mean, I don't have to paint that, I don't have to treat it, because it's disposable, it's reusable. Once it's up to the point at which it rots away, and then you just find another one. And that's the blessing about using stuff like pellets, old shelves or old cupboard units. They're rotting away already, there, as you can see. And I just replaced that little piece of wood from something I can find any time during the day, really. So that's how I'm going here. Another busy day at the office, and I'll leave you an image of the new wind turbine in a distance, which is probably a sign of things to come, because they're going to build a huge turbine park right on top of us here in Amaya de Mar, and up towards Ampolla and along this windy part of the Costa Dourada. So I'm leaving you now with that image of my wind turbine, and hopefully when it picks up, you'll start seeing a little flashing red LED light underneath it to indicate that it's charging my batteries. Adios.